Alright, what's going on, guys? We're going to do a quick settings video. This is going to be the best settings, personally, that I've found to work for me and that I think work best for your graphic settings and your Modern Warfare settings in general. First of all, open your GeForce Experience or AMD, whichever one you have. Okay. Apparently there's an update, so I'll be right back. Okay, so now that's done updating, that ties in perfectly to what I was going to say. Make sure your drivers are updated. Click here, check drivers update. Cool, they're up to date. AMD, it'll say in the top corner, check for driver updates. Whatever, just make sure they're updated. And then for my NVIDIA users, I'm just going to do a control panel real quick because I don't know about your guys' AMD settings. Sorry. We're going to go to adjust image settings. Make sure it's on use advanced 3D image settings. This, you can click it and put it down to performance or quality, whichever one you prefer. But then make sure you put it back. Just put it back over here. It's going to work better. It's going to feel better. Go to your 3D settings. Copy literally everything that I have here. You guys can pause or do whatever you need to do. But just copy all this, especially the shader cache size. Make it 100. Do not leave it at default like everyone says. Just don't. Do all that. Program settings. I have mine for Modern Warfare. You guys can copy it too. It doesn't really matter. It'll end up just using your global settings either way. But these are my Modern Warfare ones. I feel like these work the best. I've watched plenty of videos that back it up. This, do not use CPU. I've seen Crim6 and other YouTubers say use CPU, works better. You got to remember, these people have literally $8,000 PCs. Their CPUs are worth more than our entire rent, okay? These people are very, very rich, and they have better CPUs than us. Please use your graphics card, or at least put it on auto select, but don't use a CPU. It's just not worth it. Your resolution, make sure it's native. 1920 by 1080 is probably what most of you have. If you have 4K, do 4K. 4K looks great. Make sure refresh rate is at the highest it can be. If you're on console, there's no point in putting it up because you're only going to get 60 hertz anyways. But make sure it's literally at the highest you can make it for your refresh rate, and on your monitor, you're gonna feel amazing, play amazing. It's gonna look insanely better. Here's my color settings. I feel like these work best for me. This is all personal preference. This has literally nothing to do with the game. I mean, it'll make the game look brighter and more contrast and all that, but it doesn't affect anything else. It's your personal preference, so do it as you wish. That just accidentally did that. Okay. This, put no scaling. You don't want it to scale automatically. Just put no scaling. It just works better. Your advanced color settings. I just do this. I don't really mess around with this. Same thing with this. It doesn't matter. However, we're gonna go into the game here and show you my graphic settings and what works best. So give me a second. All right. Now that we're in the game, I'm gonna show you guys my personal settings and what I think works best. Mouse and keyboard, I don't even touch this. I don't use mouse and keyboard, so it doesn't really matter. Controller, I made a video on this earlier for TikTok. I didn't really do it for my YouTube, so we'll just redo this. Tactical, it's all personal preference right here. This is personal preference. I like tactical. I like to be able to crouch easier. I don't use a scuff. I don't play claw. I don't do any of that, so I personally like tactical. No one ever uses vibration. If you use vibration, I don't know who you are. You're just weird. I play on 6.6. A lot of the pros play on 6.6. Playing on 6.6, playing on 8.8, playing on whatever you want is personal preference. You're not going to play on scump sensitivity and be scump. You're not going to play on attaches sensitivity or simp sensitivity and play like them. Play whatever feels best to you. If this is too slow, go higher. If it's too fast, go lower. It's all personal preference. The only thing I will say is all this stuff. I mean, this is like for really Warzone. I don't really play a lot of Warzone. The only thing I will say is use either default or Black Ops. I like default. I've been playing Call of Duty all my life. I've always felt default. It just works best for me. I was using Black Ops when it was before it was nerfed, when the game first came out, and it felt great. Now I feel like there's really no difference. You can continue using Black Ops. That's up to you. Down here, dynamic or standard. I will say that again. Dynamic or standard. Standard, I feel, is best for me. It doesn't really matter. Dynamic, it feels good. I've played it a lot on this Call of Duty, and it feels good. Standard, it's just the normal one, so I just go with that because it's normal and that feels normal to me. Now, input dead zones. Lower this as much as you can. I cannot stress that enough. Don't lower it to the point where your controller's aiming for you and just moving when you're not touching it. So go down to 0. It will probably be like this. Aim, put it up 1, 1, 1 at a time. Put it up 1 at a time. When it's not moving anymore, do it for this one. When it's not moving anymore, you're good. Keep it as low as you can. If you're at like all the way up here and your controller's still moving, buddy, you need a new controller. Your controller is broken. You need a new one. So please, cannot stress that enough. Maximums 0.9, 0.95, one of those. This is how long it's going to take for your controller to actually like realize that you're pressing the sticks and moving it. The faster it realizes that, the faster you're getting kills. Keep that at 0.9. Left trigger, this is also, it indicates, it's the timing of the controller indicating that you're shooting or aiming down. Keep that at literally 0. It does not matter. Would you rather aim in 5 milliseconds, have it take that time, or would you rather do it 0? Put it at 0. You'll aim in and shoot way faster. It's just way better. A lot of these don't really matter. I mean, because it's really Warzone, so I don't really use a lot of these. I will say that, let me see here. My running is at automatic tac sprint. That one I think works best for me. I like running automatically. I believe that's somewhere over here. Yeah, automatic tactical sprint. I like doing that. None of that really matters. We're going to get into graphics. Please play full screen exclusive. Do not play windowed. It's terrible. Window borderless. Some people play window borderless, especially if they're streaming and stuff. They can easily tab out. It's not going to hurt your FPS a ton, but it's going to hurt it in general. So it's preference up to you if you want to play that. If you can handle it, then, you know, do it by all means. Extended window, not worth it. Don't do it. Make sure this is set to your monitor. I have 2 monitors. This is my better monitor, so I use that one. Make sure this is on your graphics card. It should automatically be. I don't know why. Unless you have multiple graphics cards. I don't know. Make sure this is not set to auto. It will probably set it to your highest mount, but just be sure and set it to your highest mount yourself. Display resolution, whatever you're playing at. If you want to play lower and get more frames and have the game look stupider and more shitty, you can do it that way. It's personal preference. I like 1920 by 1080. You can play at 4K. 4K looks amazing. Keep this off. All this does is overload your GPU, and it just kills your FPS, and it's stupid. Make sure this is at 16 by 9 if you're playing 19 by 2080 or 1920 by 1080. Turn it up if you have 4K, like 32:9, whatever your monitor is. Mine's a 24-inch, so VSync and VSync on menu, do not turn that on. It limits your FPS. It's terrible. It's not going to help you in any way. A lot of people put this on unlimited. It works the same basically. I like to just make sure that mine's getting set at a certain amount, so I keep mine on custom. Most people put this at 60 because you don't really need 100 FPS when you're in the menu, but I just like it more. Display gamma, if you're on a TV, use this. If you're on a monitor, use RGB. Brightness, personal preference again, I use 60. Quality, here we go. Make sure your render resolution is at whatever your monitor is. So mine's 1920 by 1080. We've already established that. Cool. Upscale sharpening. I use Fidelity X Cache. I feel like it looks the best. I've tried DLSS. I've tried image scaling. I don't like either of them. This one's for AMD. These are a lot of NVIDIA ones. This one's CPU based. Terrible. I like this one the best. Feel like it looks the best. And make sure you turn up to 100. Most people tell you to put it to 75 minimum. It works, but I like 100. My PC can run it, so I like it. Anti-aliasing, don't use this. It'll look very grainy, like how this is. It's very bad. It looks a little better, and it has minimum FPS gain or decrease, so you'll be good on your FPS. Anti-alias quality, most people put it on low. I put mine on high because I like it. Very minimum FPS drop. If you have a decent PC, very minimum FPS drop. Video scale memory, crank it up all the way. I personally like my texture resolutions to be on normal. It is true that normal and low have no difference at all, like really, but for some reason it just makes my camos look better on my point of view, so I like it, and it's not using a lot of my GPU, and it doesn't hurt my FPS at all. This is not low. This is just a preview. This is not what your game will look like on low. Trust me, you'll be fine. Same thing with texture, filter, anisotropic. I like mine on normal. Very minimum on your FPS. So don't worry about it. You can put it on normal. Level of details, I put them on low. There's just no point. Draw distance, keep that on short. Your particle quality, there was times in the past where putting it on high was like giving you more FPS, but I don't think so anymore. I don't use it, so low it is for me. Quality level, low. Bullet impacts, literally nothing at all to do with your FPS. So if you like running around seeing these, go for it. I don't care. I don't care for it, so I don't turn it on. Shader quality, I keep mine on low. Shaders will hurt your FPS. I can run them on high if I wanted to. I just don't think there's a whole point of it. So, tessellation, it's not really that important. Like, I mean, this is really what it is. Like, do you want it flat or do you want like kind of, to like really see what's going on? It doesn't matter. We're not looking at the ground when we're running. So keep that on off. Keep this on minimum. I did see that allowing it for maximum was helping and beneficial in some way. Personally, I keep it on minimum. I don't really notice the difference. On-demand texture streaming, keep it off. It's just gonna hurt your FPS in the long run. Just keep it off. There's no point. Streaming quality, all of this, keep it on low, off. Has nothing to do with anything you'll be worried about. Keep it off for better FPS. Now your map resolution for the shadows, I keep mine on very low. You can put it on low. It doesn't really matter. It has literally no difference. Don't go any higher than that. These are all stupid and pointless. It'll hurt your FPS. Screen space, shadows, keep it off. Shadow quality on low. Spot cache, keep it on high. Don't put it on low. Don't put it on medium. Put it on high. Do not put it on ultra. Put it on high. It says it has a high effect on your VRAM. It helps you. I promise you it will help your FPS. Put it on high. If it still doesn't work for you, lower it. If you have a decent PC, put it on high. Particle lighting, turn it on low. No one needs to see the sun in their face already more than we do on these stupid maps. That sun is brighter than my future. It is insane. They need to nerf it. Ambient occlusion. You want your game looking like actual mud? It doesn't matter. It's just terrible. It's terrible. I don't like ambient occlusion. It really does. I don't know if it affects your FPS too much, but personally, I've never used it. Don't really care for it. I've seen plenty of videos saying that they don't care for it either, so we're gonna go with that. Again, this stuff, I'm not a scientist. I have no idea what any of this means. I just know that it's off, and we need to keep it off. So how about that? On plus boost, if you have an NVIDIA reflex low latency in your settings because you have an NVIDIA graphics card, use either on or on plus boost. Test your on, see how it performs for you. Test your on plus boost, see which one you like more. A lot of the pros, I'm talking 99% of the pros, use on plus boost. It feels great for me. You could also use off. I like the low latency. It has nothing to do with your FPS. If you put it on or on plus boost, it's not going to take away 30 FPS, not going to give you 30 FPS. So I keep mine on all plus boost. It's really just preference. Depth of field, turn it off. Nobody wants to see their blurry ass, sides. No one wants to see that. Motion blurs, unless you're a YouTuber, like making videos and like edits and stuff, world motion blur is kind of fire. Weapon motion blur is not. But I like all of them. I like all of them off. Film grain, turn it off. It's terrible. It just adds. It's more like a visual noise. It says exactly right here. It's just bad. It's bad. I don't like it at all. FOV, completely based on your personal preference. I play 120. I like to see the whole field of view. This border right here, if there's a guy right here and you're playing on 100 or less, you're not seeing them. I like to see them. However, you aim in right here, it's going to look like you're way farther from that person. So, it's personal preference. Just test it. I've seen Crimsix say that using 97 has some weird advantage. And, like, back in the old CODs, using, like, 107 was, like, perfect for aim assist. Because the higher you go, the more aim assist you're going to lose. Personally, I don't notice it too much, so I like 120. Affected, I believe, is the best. See how you're aimed in right here on independent? You can't see where you're going, where's like beside you. On affected, you can see on the outside. I personally like affected. I don't like, especially on 120 FOV, it's like right as you aim in, that FOV just goes, like it zooms in. I don't like that. I play on wide. I was playing on narrow and default for a while, switching back and forth, like liking them. But this is basically how far your gun is from your character, like how outward it is. I play on wide. I think it's the best. Personal preference. Third person field of view. I don't even touch that. I don't really care. This stuff I don't really care. Least, please put your first person camera movement on 50% and your third person, even though I don't even use third person, put it on 50%. It feels so much better. Watching your like the way your camera will move, it's just better for running around, and it's just good. Everyone uses it, trust me. Audio, headphone bass boost, you can turn this up to 100. You will blow your ears out. So I keep mine at 70. Sometimes I lower it a little more. Music, turn that shit off. Dialogue volume, I turn it down. I don't need to hear this guy screaming at me about how they took our flag. Effects, I keep that at 100. Hit marker, I have it at 60. I might as well turn that up to 70. Now I'm thinking about it. Default system device, turn this off if it's on. Subtitles, I keep mine off. That's personal preference again. Voice chats, this is all your guys' personal preference, whatever you guys want to do with it. And this is all. Turn this off too. This one, turn off if you have it on. Hit marker sounds, you can make it classic, MW, none. If you play on none, you're weird. That's awkward. Another plus right here is going to be, where am I looking? Minimap, please turn on square. You will love it. Turn on minimap rotation as well. You don't want your minimap just sitting there, just locked in when you're moving around the map. It looks weird. What was I gonna? The center dot. It's basically just a little dot in your screen. You can make it large, larger, largest. It's like a dot in your crosshair. I personally don't really mess with it. I don't really care. If you have trouble aiming or centering, that will help you get better. So you guys can go into private match or whatever and play around with it and see how you guys like it. I personally don't mind it. Everything else, color customization is a good one. I use filter 2 on both the world and the interface. Have it at 100, have that at 100. I use colorblind tritanopia. I don't even know how to say that. It's basically just you pick whatever colors you guys want. You can literally change this wherever. You can apply a custom color. Like, you can make this color literally whatever you want. It's just the teammates, the enemies, the flags. It makes your world way brighter and vibrant. And another thing I want to show you guys. So, you can't see it on my OBS, but this app right here, Vibrance GUI. If you guys want to add a lot of contrast to your game and saturation, download Vibrance GUI, add COD to it, and you can set the vibrance to whatever you want, 100, 50, 52, you know. It's really good. It's really good. It adds color and contrast and like saturation to your game, makes it look way brighter. All these YouTubers talk about, oh, you want this color, you want that color, you just got to go into your settings and change your color customization. No, you want real color, download that. I promise you, you will never turn it off. I used to use it back in the day on CSGO. It's clutch. That's all the settings I can think of. If you guys have any questions or anything else, leave them down in the comments. I wasn't trying to be all scientific and tell you guys exactly what this means and the testing side and all this. I'm telling you the best settings that I know of and that I've seen, and I'm telling you what's going to get you FPS and good quality. If you guys don't like that, use your own settings. I don't know. All I know is that these are the best settings for me and that I've seen on other YouTubes and TikToks and all that, and I think they work best. So if you guys liked the video, be sure to comment down below, like, watching this on TikTok, follow me. But I'll see you guys in the next one.